Hi there and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's dive into today's top stories. Jorginho says 24-year-old Arsenal star is going to get even better. Arsenal midfielder Jorginho has given his verdict on Declan Rice. Jorginho has noted what makes Rice a special footballer and believes that there is more to come from him. So, what has Arsenal midfielder Jorginho said about his Gunners teammate Declan Rice? Let's take a look. Well, Arsenal and Italy international midfielder Jorginho has spoken highly of Declan Rice. Jorginho has said that Rice, who joined Arsenal from London and the Premier League rivals West Ham United in the summer of 2023, is a big player. The Italian star has suggested that the 24-year-old England international is going to get better and has outlined what makes him a special player. He said, "He is a big player. Everyone can see that from his performances. His age is on his side in terms of having way more to learn, to improve. His energy, his physicality, he has a big impact with that. He is a humble guy and he has so much to learn, improve, and be a big player in terms of world football." In my view, Arsenal and England international midfielder Declan Rice could become a world-class player. Rice is already one of the best players in the Premier League. He has transformed Arsenal already and has made the Gunners a better and more solid unit in the middle of the park. The Englishman is only 24 now. He has time on his hands to get even better and add more facets to his game. I believe that Rice could develop even more and perhaps even enhance his attacking ability in the coming years. If Arsenal make themselves regulars in the UEFA Champions League, then it will help Rice test himself against elite teams in Europe, and that will make him better. Arsenal are aiming to win the Premier League and also go deep in the UEFA Champions League this season. Mikel Arteta says Arsenal players really listen to intelligent £12 million Gunners teammate. Arsenal manager has given his verdict on Jorginho. Arteta has noted what makes Jorginho a very special footballer and has outlined what the other Arsenal players think of him. So, what has Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta said about Jorginho? Let's take a look. Well, Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta has been raving about Jorginho and has said that he is a role model. Arteta has said that the Italian midfielder is one of the most intelligent players he has managed, stating that he is like a coach. During the match against Aston Villa, the £12 million midfielder was caught on camera giving instructions to his Arsenal teammates from the sidelines, including to goalkeeper David Raya. Arteta told the Times about Jorginho the following: "He makes people better. As a role model, you want to look at somebody with his career and the way he acts every single day. Look at him. See how he wakes up in the morning. After that, he understands his role in a great way, and whatever you ask him to do, he will do it at his best, and that's something rare. He is one of the most intelligent players that I have coached for sure. The detail he can go into to understand what is happening live, not individually, but what is actually happening live in the game, and how to correct it, and how he can attract the attention of his teammates to listen to him and do what he is telling them to do. It's really impressive." In my view, Arsenal and Italy international midfielder Jorginho is a very underrated player. The 31-year-old has had a very good career, but sometimes people tend to forget that. We do not hear much praise for the Italy international. Jorginho is not a regular in the Arsenal starting lineup, but I believe that he is a very good option to have for manager Mikel Arteta. The Italian has a wealth of experience and he does bring a sense of security in the middle of the park in the final 30 or so minutes of matches. BBC Pundit says Arsenal star produced one of the moments of the season against Brighton. Clinton Morrison has suggested that Martin Odegaard played one of the passes of the season in the build-up to a brilliant chance for Arsenal against Brighton on Sunday. Martin Odegaard reminded everyone of his quality during the first half at the Emirates. The Norwegian has not been at his best in the opening months of this campaign, but his ability is undeniable, and he produced a moment of magic for what should have arguably been the opening goal of the game against the Seagulls. Odegaard found Bukayo Saka with a gorgeous pass with the outside of his left boot from right wing. The pass was perfectly weighted and allowed Saka to slide the ball back across for Gabriel Martinelli. Unfortunately, Martinelli could not keep his effort down and the strike went over the bar, but Clinton Morrison, speaking on BBC Radio 5 Live, was full of praise for the brilliance of the Arsenal captain in creating the opportunity. He said, "The pass is outstanding, one of the passes of the season. He put all sorts of spin on that, and it was a great little cutback from Saka, and Martinelli really should be making it 1-0. But the pass from Odegaard, outstanding football." There have been some more promising signs from Odegaard in recent times. He is definitely not as influential as he was last season, but he seems to be finding some better form. Odegaard did superbly to create the winning goal away at Luton recently, and the quality of that pass yesterday meant that most would have been talking about his role rather than Martinelli had the Brazilian managed to find the back of the net. It's ominous for Arsenal's rivals that the Gunners' attack has not been anywhere near as impressive this season, and yet they are perfectly poised in the race for the Premier League title once again this term. Mikel Arteta says he was so impressed with one Arsenal player's display versus Brighton. Mikel Arteta was left seriously impressed with Kai Havertz's display for Arsenal on Sunday afternoon. The Gunners picked up a crucial 2-0 over the Seagulls thanks to goals from Gabriel Jesus and Kai Havertz. Arsenal were left frustrated after the first half as they completely dominated the game but failed to make the most of their opportunities. Indeed, the likes of Gabriel Martinelli went close in the opening period, but Jesus eventually netted the deserved opener just after half-time. The Brazilian striker headed home at the back post following a Bukayo Saka corner just 5 minutes after the break. The Gunners were forced to wait until the 87th minute as Havertz wrapped up all 3 points with a composed finish. And it's fair to say that Mikel Arteta was delighted with his summer signings display. Speaking to the media after yesterday's win over Brighton, Arteta singled out Havertz for praise. He said, "His confidence is growing, scoring one is helping to score the second one. Overall, he is top." Havertz is beginning to find his feet at Arsenal after a difficult start to life in North London. The Germany international has netted 3 goals in his last 5 Premier League appearances and seems to have nailed down his place in Arteta's side for the time being. It's no secret that Havertz was heavily criticized during the early stages of the campaign following his move from Chelsea, but Arteta seems to have found a role for him in the side, and it's certainly paying off for both Havertz and Arsenal of late. The former Chelsea man will be hoping to keep up his promising run of form as he bids to secure his place in Arteta's midfield for the long term. BBC pundit Clinton Morrison says exceptional Arsenal player has a major flaw. Clinton Morrison has given his verdict on Arsenal striker Gabriel Jesus after watching him in action against Brighton and Hove Albion at the Emirates Stadium. The former Crystal Palace forward and BBC Sport pundit has noted a major flaw in Jesus' game. So, what has Clinton Morrison said about Arsenal and the Brazil international striker Gabriel Jesus? Let's take a look. Well, Arsenal beat Brighton and Hove Albion 2-0 at the Emirates Stadium in the Premier League on Sunday. Gabriel Jesus scored the first goal for the Gunners in the 53rd minute. Kai Havertz doubled the advantage for Mikel Arteta's side on the 87th minute. Clinton Morrison was following the match for BBC Radio 5 Live. The former Crystal Palace forward was on co-commentary duty for the game. The pundit was not impressed by the display produced by Jesus in the first half and said that Arsenal need to sign a striker who is more prolific than him. Jesus has scored 3 goals and given 1 assist in 12 Premier League matches this season. The 26-year-old Brazil international striker has scored 72 goals and provided 36 assists in 197 appearances in the Premier League so far in his career. Morrison said on BBC Radio 5 the following: "We know, we've been talking about it. We know they need an out-and-out number 9 because Jesus, I like him. I think he is a really good striker, but sometimes he wants to drop too deep and he wants to link the play. I think he is exceptional, but they need a striker in and around that 6-yard box because they dominate possession. Just stay in that 6-yard box and you will score goals. But you are right, he has to hit the target more." I agree with Clinton Morrison. Gabriel Jesus simply does not score enough goals. Having said that, I should also note that he is a very important player for Arsenal. Jesus is a key figure in Arsenal's attack. The way the former Man City striker presses sets the tone for the Gunners. We cannot ignore that. While I would back Arsenal to sign a prolific number 9 who would be able to get 20 or 25 goals a season, we should not undermine what Jesus brings to the current Gunners team. Chelsea could bid for a 25-year-old English player in January. Mauricio Pochettino's Chelsea could make a bid for Arsenal goalkeeper Aaron Ramsey in the January transfer window. That's according to TalkSport, which has noted interest from another club in the England international goalkeeper. So, what has been reported about Chelsea and Aaron Ramsey? Let's take a look. Well, according to TalkSport, Chelsea are interested in signing Aaron Ramsey from London and the Premier League rivals Arsenal in the January transfer window. The report has claimed that due to the injury suffered by Robert Sanchez, Chelsea are considering stepping up their interest in Ramsey. TalkSport has noted that Chelsea appear ready to make a bid for Ramsey. However, a potential deal will not be easy for the Blues. Arsenal may not let Ramsey leave in January. Newcastle United are also keen on the 25-year-old, according to the report. I do not think that Arsenal will sell Ramsey in the January transfer window. In my view, Chelsea could struggle to get a deal done, unless, of course, they make an offer that is too hard to refuse, something like £50 million and plus. While David Raya is the number 1 goalkeeper for Arsenal, Gunners manager Mikel Arteta is well aware of how good Ramsey is. It's also important for Arsenal to have options. Raya has not been at his best for the Gunners, and Ramsey could be called into action if the Spain international makes bad mistakes. Ramsey himself may not be too keen on a move to Chelsea, especially in January. After all, what would happen once Sanchez returned to full fitness? The 25-year-old could face the same situation he is enduring at Arsenal now. Arsenal are aiming to win the Premier League title this season, while Chelsea are looking to end up in the top 4. Player is now pushing to leave his club after agent held Arsenal talks. Joao Palhinha is pushing to leave Fulham amid interest from Mikel Arteta's Arsenal. That's according to Team Talk, which has noted interest in Palhinha from another big club based in London. So, what has been reported about Arsenal target Joao Palhinha? Let's take a look. Well, according to Team Talk, Arsenal want to sign Joao Palhinha from London and the Premier League rivals Fulham in the January transfer window. The report has noted that Chelsea are also keen on getting a deal done for the Portugal international defensive midfielder. The agents of Palhinha have approached Arsenal and Chelsea over a potential transfer in January. Team Talk has added that the player himself is pushing for a big move in the coming months. Liverpool have been linked as well. In my view, Joao Palinha could be able to make an immediate impact at Arsenal and would enhance the Gunners' chances of winning the Premier League title this season. Palinha is one of the best defensive midfielders in the Premier League. He is a very combative player who does not shy away from making tackles. The Fulham star is 28 now. He is at the top of his game. I believe that Palinha would be able to get straight into the Arsenal team and play alongside Declan Rice in the middle of the park. Arsenal do have a very good midfield department, but there is always room for more quality players. After all, the Gunners are aiming to beat Manchester City and Liverpool to the Premier League title this season and in the coming years. It will be interesting to see if Fulham are open to selling Palinha in the middle of the season and how much they would want for the Portuguese star. Meanwhile, Team Talk has reported that Arsenal may not make a bid for Royal Antwerp midfielder Arthur Vermeeren until the summer of 2024. As we wrap up today's Arsenal news, remember to stay tuned for daily updates right here on the channel. Don't miss out on the latest updates, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a like if you found this information valuable. Your support means the world to us. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.